Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, I don't even recognize myself anymore? You smile outside, but inside, you're tired, lost, and quietly breaking. This isn't just another video. This is the moment your rebuilding begins. From nothing, from pain, from silence, to strength again. Stay till the end, because by the time we finish, you'll remember who you truly are. Welcome to this video. My friend, before we begin, I want you to take a deep breath and calm your mind, because what you're about to hear isn't just another motivational speech. It's a rebuilding plan for your entire life and your inner peace. If you've been feeling broken, tired, unmotivated, or stuck, this video is for you. A space for healing and clarity. If you've been smiling in front of everyone but crying when you're alone, this video is for you and your heart. And if you've ever looked at yourself in the mirror and whispered, I don't even recognize who I am anymore, this is for you. Then this video is exactly what you need, because today we're not just going to talk about motivation, we're going to rebuild you. We'll rebuild you step by step, starting from zero, from the ground, from pain, from silence, from the days you couldn't move. I will walk you through 11 real steps that will help you rebuild your mind, confidence, energy, and your entire life purpose. By the end of this video, you will not just feel motivated for a few minutes, you will understand how to rebuild completely. And one more thing, this video is also great for your English learning journey through real-life examples and emotional storytelling. You'll learn powerful real-life English through stories, simple sentences, and emotional examples that connect directly to your growth. So even if you're learning English, stay with me till the end because it will rebuild your life and your mindset too. So I want you to do one thing right now. Sit back, close every other tab, and listen with your heart fully open. Forget your phone for a few minutes because this might be the video that truly changes your life forever. Starting today, and before we begin, I want you to subscribe to our channel, not just for motivation, but for transformation through healing English. We create videos that heal you, inspire you, and teach you English at the same time, helping you rise step by step. If you truly want to rebuild your life, start by pressing that subscribe button because every video we make helps you grow. Every single video we share will help you take another step forward, closer to your best version and future peace. Now let's begin. Let's talk about how to rebuild yourself step by step, with honesty and practical wisdom for your mind. And the first step is one most people never talk about, but it's where real healing begins. Step 1. Clean the rubble. When a building collapses, what do you see? Dust? Debris? Broken glass? Heavy pieces of concrete lying everywhere. Chaos everywhere. Before anyone can build again, they must clean the rubble, removing everything that's cracked, dangerous, or rotten from the ground. The same thing happens in your life. If you want to rebuild yourself, you can't start on top of broken pieces. You have to clean the rubble first. You must clear the emotional, mental, and physical mess blocking your personal growth. And here's the truth. Most people ever accept you cannot rebuild your life if you're still holding what broke you. Cleaning the rubble means removing toxic people who drain your energy every single day and make you feel small. Old memories that live rent-free inside your head, making you doubt yourself and your worth, must also be cleared away. Bad habits that steal your time and give you nothing in return need to be released with courage and discipline. Negative self-talk that keeps whispering, "You're not good enough," has to be silenced with self-compassion and truth. Regret that repeats, "You should have done it differently," and guilt that keeps you stuck in yesterday must be released. These are the broken stones lying inside your mind. You can't build a new house on top of them without collapsing again, because every time you try to stand, you'll keep tripping on the same pieces until you clean them completely and bravely. Let's make this simple and practical. Imagine your life as a room after a storm, messy and full of broken memories. There's water on the floor, papers everywhere, clothes scattered, and broken glass near the window shining with painful reflection. You don't start decorating that room immediately, right? You don't buy new furniture before cleaning the mess first. You first roll up your sleeves, throw away the trash, and sweep the floor with intention and patience until it's ready. Only then does the room become ready for something beautiful, calm, and meaningful to enter and stay in your life. That's exactly what you must do with your life. Start small. Remove one toxic thing today with clarity and strength. It could be a person who always criticizes you and makes you feel small, or a habit wasting your energy daily. It could be endless scrolling on your phone when you should be working on your dreams. Focus. Or personal transformation. It could be an old photo that keeps reopening a wound, or reminding you of pain that belongs in the past. Take a deep breath and let it go. Imagine a young man who wanted to change his life but felt trapped. Every morning, he woke up tired. Not because he worked hard, but because his environment kept him emotionally stuck inside. Same room, same negative people, same distractions. One day, he looked around and realized his phone was filled with poison, toxic reminders, people he envied, people who hurt him, and people who made him feel behind in his journey. That day, he deleted 20 contacts. He unfollowed 10 accounts. He threw away one old gift that reminded him of pain. And that night he said, for the first time in years, I feel lighter. That's how rebuilding truly begins in life. You start by removing, not adding. You don't need to change everything in one day, just one corner at a time. Maybe your corner is your mind filled with regrets and self-hate. Start by replacing one negative thought with truth. When your mind says, I'm useless, respond, I'm still learning. When it says, I failed, say, that was a lesson. When it says, it's too late, answer, I'm just beginning. Your words shape your healing more than your past ever could. Maybe your corner is your environment. Your room is messy, your desk dusty, your space heavy with old unfinished stories. Clean it today because your physical space shapes your mental space. When you clean your environment, thoughts become lighter. And maybe your corner is your relationships. Some people are like weeds in your garden, small but destructive to growth. They kill everything growing around them quietly. It doesn't mean you hate them. It means you're protecting your peace. You can love someone and still walk away if their presence is destroying your growth. Clarity or emotional balance. So here's your task after this video. Delete one contact who brings you down. Unfollow 3 accounts draining your energy. Throw away one thing that carries your pain. Write one positive sentence about yourself and repeat it before you sleep. Because cleaning is not just about removing dust. It's about removing what no longer serves your future and peace. And you'll notice something beautiful when you do this. At first, you'll feel sad, like losing something familiar and safe, but slowly. You'll start feeling lighter. You'll breathe easier. You'll think clearer because you've just created new inner space. Space for the new version of you to exist and grow. Remember this. Rebuilding doesn't start by adding, but by removing. It starts by removing what's killing you silently. When you clean the rubble, you make room for peace and clarity. Only then can you lay a new foundation. That's step 1. Clean the rubble. The first and most important rebuilding step, because you can't rebuild on broken ground. Step 2. Forgive the old you. Before rebuilding, you must forgive your past self. Before you can rebuild your life, you must forgive the person you used to be, the one still living quietly inside you. Most people try to start over while secretly hating themselves. They carry invisible guilt everywhere they go without realizing. They say things like, I wasted so many years. I ruined everything. I disappointed my family. I don't deserve a second chance. And because of those thoughts, they stay trapped. They don't rebuild. They repeat the same mistakes again and again painfully. Forgiveness is not about pretending the past never happened. It's about accepting that it did and choosing not to live there. The old you was not evil. The old you was only trying to survive with the knowledge and strength you had at that time. You made mistakes because you didn't know better. You trusted wrong people because you were lonely, lost, or simply afraid. You wasted time because you were confused. You stayed silent because you were scared. You did what you could to survive. Every version of you, even the one that failed, was doing its best with the tools it had during that moment of pain. And now you have new tools: awareness, experience, pain, and wisdom. You can't rebuild by punishing the person who carried you. Think of yourself as a child who fell while learning to walk. Would you yell at that child and call them stupid? Would you say, "You're a failure for falling"? Of course not. You would help them stand, smile, and say, "Try again." That's what forgiveness means. It's the moment you look at your past self, the one who fell, and say, "It's okay. I understand. You didn't know better. But now I do." Forgive yourself the way you would forgive a child learning again, because inside you, that child is still trying to stand, still trying to grow stronger and take one more brave step forward. When you don't forgive yourself, you keep all your energy locked in the past, stuck in endless cycles of guilt and regret. Every day, part of your mind replays old memories, errors, old failures, old mistakes. That's why you feel tired even doing nothing, because your brain is fighting ghosts that no longer exist, carrying invisible weights from a story that's already finished. But the moment you forgive yourself, you free that energy. You stop bleeding into old wounds and start healing from truth. You stop punishing yourself for lessons that already taught you something valuable, something that made you who you are. Forgiveness is not weakness. It is strength. It is saying, "Yes, I fell, but I refuse to stay on the ground anymore." There was a woman who once had everything: a good job, friends, confidence, joy. But she made one wrong decision in trust. She trusted someone who betrayed her, lost her job, and fell into deep depression that lasted for years of quiet suffering. For 3 years, she woke up every morning and said the same sentence: "This is all my fault." Replaying her pain endlessly, she replayed that one mistake again and again until it became her identity, her shadow, and her everyday language of shame. One day she met an old teacher who asked, "If your best friend made the same mistake, would you forgive her easily?" The woman said, "Of course. I'd tell her it's not the end of the world." The teacher smiled and asked one more thing: "Then why can't you tell that to yourself?" That night, she wrote a letter to her past self with trembling hands and tears. She wrote, "I forgive you for not knowing better. I forgive you for staying silent. I forgive you for being scared. I forgive you for being human." She cried while writing it, but when she woke up, something had changed deep inside her. Her face looked softer, her chest felt lighter, and for the first time in years, she said to herself, "I deserve a second chance." That's the power of forgiveness. It doesn't erase your past. It releases your pain so you can finally move forward in life. Here's what you can do right now. You don't need tools or permission from anyone else. You just need complete honesty. Write a letter to your old self. Don't filter it. Don't hide your pain. Say everything you've been holding for too long. Tell your old self what you forgive them for wasting time, loving the wrong person, not believing in yourself, staying too long, for giving up when you were tired, scared, or broken. Then, at the end of the letter, write one powerful closing sentence: "I forgive you, but I will not stay here anymore." Speak forgiveness aloud. Look in the mirror and meet your reflection. Don't avoid your eyes. Say out loud, "I forgive you for everything. You did your best. And now we begin again." You'll be surprised how powerful those words feel, because for the first time, you're speaking to yourself with love, not judgment. Stop punishing yourself when an old memory comes back. Don't start the same painful cycle again. Don't reopen old wounds daily. Instead of saying, "I ruined my chance," say, "I learned my lesson." Instead of saying, "I was stupid," say, I grew wiser. Each time you replace guilt with growth, you rebuild another piece of your foundation. One small stone of strength each day. Forgiveness gives you permission to start again. Not from the same place, but from a higher one built on truth and awareness. It turns your past from a prison into a teacher. It turns your pain into experience. It turns your shame into understanding. Most people think change begins when you buy a new book, find a new job, or move to a new city far away. But true change begins the day you forgive yourself for being human. That's the day you stop running from your reflection. That's the day you start walking toward your future. Think of a garden that has been ignored and dry for many years. It's full of weeds, dry soil, and fallen leaves. That garden is your life after pain, waiting quietly for care again. You've already cleaned the rubble in step 1, removed broken stones and toxic plants that poisoned your soil for so long. Now, before you plant new seeds, you must forgive the soil itself. You must say to it, "It's okay that you were dry. It's okay that you were empty. I know why. But now we will grow again." Forgiveness prepares the ground for new growth. Without it, no new seed will survive, because deep inside, you'll still believe you don't deserve happiness or peace again. And nothing grows in a heart that believes it is unworthy. Every morning from now on, tell yourself something powerful. I am not my past. I am not my mistakes. I am not what they said about me. I am rebuilding myself again, and I forgive every version of me that came before this one. Say it slowly and with meaning, because your brain listens. Your brain believes the words it hears most often. If you keep speaking guilt, you'll live in guilt. If forgiveness, in freedom. Forgiving yourself doesn't mean forgetting everything. It means remembering without pain. It means looking back and nodding softly, saying, "That was me, but it's not me anymore." It means your past no longer controls the direction or rhythm of your future. You are not broken. You are becoming. You are not lost. You are learning the way. You are growing, not failing anymore. And every time you forgive yourself, you remove another invisible chain that was keeping you from flying freely again. Step 3, create a new identity. Now that you've cleaned the rubble and forgiven the old you, it's time for the rebirth. Now that you've cleaned the rubble and forgiven the old you, it's time to create a new identity, a new foundation. And I don't mean a fake mask. I mean the real you that's been buried under years of guilt, fear, and noise. This is the moment when you stop asking, "What happened to me?" and start asking, "Who do I want to become?" Most people rebuild their lives by accident. They let life happen to them, waiting for direction instead of creating one. They wait for a job, a person, an opportunity to give them purpose. But rebuilding requires intention and daily choices. You must decide what kind of life you want to live and what kind of person you must become to live it. If you don't choose your identity, the world will choose it for you, Mamoru, defining you by your failures and fears. You'll become what others say you are, the lazy one, the failure, the broken one who never finishes anything meaningful. But those are labels, not truth. And labels become cages if you don't break them open and define yourself again. Creating a new identity means writing a new story about who you are and what you're becoming. One day at a time, and every story begins with one sentence. From today, I am becoming someone new. That's your starting line for growth. But how do you actually do that? Let me show you the steps to create your new identity and live by it daily. Name the identity you want to become. Say it out loud. Say it clearly. Don't let confusion shape your future anymore. Who do you want to be? Here are examples. I am a focused and disciplined person. I am a confident and kind speaker. I am calm and powerful in my decisions. I finish what I start. I choose peace over drama and chaos. Write your own sentence and say it daily. This isn't fantasy. This is your new foundation for building confidence and truth. Act like that person before you feel like that person. This is the secret most people never understand about transformation. You don't become confident first. You act confidently until your brain catches up and believes what your actions repeat. You don't become productive by waiting for motivation. You become productive by acting like a productive person would. Even when you feel lazy, your actions create your identity, not your emotions. Actions shape belief more than feelings ever can. Delete the lies you've been living. There are stories you keep repeating that are no longer true and must be erased. For example, I've always been bad at English. I can't focus for long. I always give up. Nobody believes in me. Each one of those lies is like a virus inside your brain. If you don't delete them, they'll destroy your progress. Replace them with truths. I'm learning to speak clearly every day. I focus longer now. I keep going even when it's hard. I believe in myself even when others don't. Each new sentence is a brick in your new identity, strong and unshakable. Let me tell you about a man named Daniel. He used to be angry, lazy, distracted, and always blaming others for his problems. He said things like, "I'm just not the kind of person who can focus." Or, "I've always been like this. I can't change." But one day, after a breakdown, he asked himself, "What if I'm wrong about who I am?" That question changed everything. He made a decision. He wrote this on a small paper. "I am becoming a calm, focused, and powerful man." He read it every morning and every night. More importantly, he started acting like it in simple, consistent ways daily. He made a rule: no phone before 10 a.m. He spoke slower, walked slower, breathed deeper, and created a one-page daily plan. After 90 days, people said, "Daniel, you've changed. You're not the same anymore." But the truth was, he wasn't pretending. He was becoming who he always could have been if he had removed the lies and acted from truth instead of fear. Don't wait for the world to tell you who you are. Decide who you want to be and become that person with intention. Rebuilding starts when you stop saying, "This is just who I am," and start saying, "This is who I choose to be now." Your new identity is not fake. It's your choice. And your choice is your freedom to create the life you desire. Step 4. Build a survival routine. After you create your new identity, you'll feel excited and full of new motivation. You'll want to change everything quickly. But there's a problem. Life doesn't give you space to change easily or perfectly. You'll still wake up tired, still face distractions, still feel the weight of the past that tries to pull you backward. That's why you need what I call a survival routine, a simple structure that keeps you moving even when energy is gone. It's not a perfect schedule or a 5 a.m. miracle morning. It's a set of non-negotiable actions that protect your momentum. A survival routine is the minimum system that keeps your mind, body, and spirit alive while you're rebuilding yourself. It's the anchor that holds you when you feel lost. The bridge between who you are and who you're becoming daily. Why do you need it? Because rebuilding isn't always exciting. Some days you'll feel empty. Some days nothing will change. Some days your past will whisper, "Come back." On those days, you don't need motivation. You need a routine that works. You need simple steps that you follow without thinking. That's what a survival routine gives you. Structure in chaos. Let's build it together now. It should include just 5 actions, each taking less than 10 minutes. Keep it simple and real. You can add more later. But start with this foundation. Step 1. Your wake-up ritual. One clear rule for your morning. Example, no phone for the first 30 minutes. Drink a glass of water as soon as you wake up. Say one positive sentence aloud. This starts your brain with control, not chaos. Step 2. Body activation. Move your body, even if it's just for 5 minutes. Do stretches. Walk around. Take deep breaths. Jump lightly in place. This wakes your nervous system and tells your brain, "Go ga." Step 3. Mind clarity. Write 3 short sentences every morning. One thing you're grateful for. One focus. One encouragement. This clears mental noise and gives direction. Step 4. Clean something small, your bed, desk, or one messy corner around you. This gives you an early win and signals progress. Step 5. Learn one thing. Watch 5 minutes of an English video daily. Listen to an audio story or read one paragraph from a book. Keep your brain in learning mode and away from mental laziness. For example, there was a woman named Isla who had just lost her job. She felt depressed, lazy, and completely useless. She stayed in bed all day, disconnected from everything. Until one morning, she heard a line from a video that changed her. Don't wait to feel better. Start with one tiny action. So she created her own survival routine, lasting only 15 minutes. Drink water. Stand outside for 3 minutes. Write one sentence. Listen to 5 minutes of English. Make her bed every day. She didn't feel better on day 1 or 2. But by day 10, she woke earlier. By day 30, she applied for 12 jobs. By day 45, she was hired again. Not because of one big goal, but because of a small, consistent system that worked. The human brain loves patterns. When you repeat the same actions daily, your brain says, "This is who we are now." That's how you rebuild, not by waiting for energy, but by building routines that protect your movement and consistency. Don't build a perfect day. Build a survival system. A few simple actions that say, even when I feel nothing, I'll rise. Because rebuilding isn't about doing 100 things. It's about doing 5 things consistently. Even when you feel broken, if you can keep walking through the storm, one step at a time, you're already winning your quiet battle for transformation. Step 5. Move your body. Move your mind. There's one truth almost no one talks about. If your body stays still, you stay stuck. If your body stays still, your mind will stay stuck. But if your body starts moving, your mind will begin to follow. When you feel broken, lost, depressed, or anxious, your body reacts first. You sit more. You lie down longer. You freeze. Your shoulders drop. Your breathing slows. Your posture collapses. And slowly, you begin to physically shrink into your pain. The longer you stay still, the heavier everything feels. Your energy disappears. Your confidence fades. And your thoughts darken. But there's a secret weapon that can change all of this. Movement. Simple, intentional movement every single day of your life, even when you don't feel like it. Especially when you don't feel like it. You must move to free your trapped mind. This is not about having six-pack abs or losing weight. It's about saving your mind through the medicine of movement. Your body and brain are connected by a two-way bridge. When your mind sends signals, your body reacts immediately in return. But the beautiful truth is, the opposite also works. When your body moves, it sends new signals of life back to your brain. When you stretch, when you walk, when you breathe deeply, your brain receives a message. I am alive. I am not done. And that message slowly becomes your new reality. Action precedes emotion. Movement creates the energy you've been waiting for. Imagine a bicycle left outside in the rain for years. The wheels are stuck. The chain dry. The pedals rusted with time. Now try to ride that bicycle. It won't move. Not because it's broken forever, but because it hasn't been used for long. But if you start oiling the chain, push the wheels a little every day, and clean the rust, it will move again, day by day, little by little. The bicycle becomes smooth again. That's exactly what happens to your mind through movement. When you stop moving, your mind becomes like that rusted bicycle, stuck, heavy, unbalanced, and slow to respond to hope. But the moment you start walking, stretching, or dancing, you oil the chain. You awaken your brain's natural power to rise. You remind your body, we're still alive, we're still moving, we're not finished yet. That's the voice of healing. Your mind doesn't need a miracle. It needs motion. Movement is what restarts the connection between body, heart, and mind. What kind of movement should you do? You don't need a gym, equipment, or money. You only need daily, simple physical practice. Here are a few powerful examples. The 10-minute walk. Go outside. Walk without checking your phone. Let your thoughts breathe. Don't fight them. Just walk like someone rebuilding their strength, because that's exactly what you're doing through motion. Next, stretching routine. Stretch your arms. Touch your toes. Roll your shoulders. Breathe deeply. Open your chest to the world. When you open your chest, you give your heart permission to feel again, to breathe freely after years of silent heaviness. Another one, slow dancing alone. Play soft music. Stand in your room. Close your eyes. Let your body sway without judgment. You don't need rhythm. You need release. Let your pain move through your body, not stay trapped inside your stillness. Then micro-exercise, 5 push-ups, 5 squats, 5 jumping jacks. Because success starts with small wins that wake your brain. Each action tells your mind, we're not dead, we're still in the fight. That is what resilience looks like in motion. Why does this work? Because your body carries more than bones. It carries emotion, memory, pain, and potential to transform. When you move, you shake the pain loose. You give your mind something else to focus on besides failure and fear. You shift your energy, your chemistry, and your identity. You remind yourself that you're not stuck, just paused. Not finished. Don't wait to feel motivated. Don't wait to feel ready. Move before your brain gives you permission to begin, because movement isn't just exercise, it's medicine. If you can move your body, you can move your mind and rebuild your life. One small step at a time. That's how you rise. Step 6. Train your mouth to speak powerfully, because words create your world. The words you speak shape the world you live in. Many people destroy their future daily with the words they use. Your mouth isn't only for communication, it's a weapon. It can build a new identity or kill the one you're creating. If you're trying to rebuild yourself but still saying things like, I'm a mess, I'm behind, I always fail, you're stuck. Those words build a cage around your potential. When you speak something often enough, your brain begins to believe it. Once your brain believes it, you act as if it's true. Thoughts become sentences. Sentences become beliefs. Beliefs become identity, and your identity shapes your life. If you keep saying, I'm not good at this, your actions will quietly prove you right. But if you start saying, I'm learning, I'm improving, I'm becoming stronger, your mind reframes mistakes as growth, not failure. Imagine an old radio sitting in a quiet room, always tuned to the same station, static. Noise, negative messages on repeat. You can't do this. You're not enough. You'll fail again. Why even try? The room fills with invisible heaviness and fear. Even if the room is beautiful, the sound ruins the experience. Now imagine you change the station and tune it carefully. The voice changes. You're learning. You're getting stronger. You made it through another day. You are growing and alive. The room hasn't changed, but the atmosphere has. That's your mouth. Your mouth is the radio of your inner world. If you keep speaking weak, fearful words, your inner world becomes dark. Speak strong words, and everything begins to shine. You don't need to change everything in your life. Sometimes you only need to change the frequency of your language. This isn't about lying to yourself. It's about using language as a tool to shift your state and strengthen your mindset. Here's how you do it. Choose 3 power sentences to speak daily. Write them, memorize them, and say them in the mirror. Examples. I am rebuilding my life one step at a time. Every day I speak. I grow more confident. My voice matters deeply. I have made mistakes, but I am not a mistake. My future is stronger than my past. Repeat until your brain believes you. Next, Eliminate weak phrases like, I'll try, maybe I can't, it's too late, I'm not ready. Replace them with strength instead. Say, I will learn. I'm working on it. It's not easy, but I'm doing it anyway. This is my beginning, not my end. Speak your goals aloud. Don't just think them. Say them. The sound of your own belief builds strength inside your heart. For example, by the end of this year, I will be confident in English. I will wake with discipline. I will not fear. The more you say it, the more real it becomes. Because your words are the software of your brain. They rewrite your system. If your software is broken, your life crashes. If your software is powerful, your system becomes unstoppable in every direction. You cannot rebuild with weak words. You cannot create a powerful future with a powerless voice that doubts itself. The most important voice in your life isn't your friends, teachers, or parents. It's your own voice when you're alone at night. If that voice is full of fear, shame, or doubt, you'll live small even with big dreams. But if it becomes kind and strong, you'll rise. So from today, train your mouth. Speak like the person you're becoming, because your mouth isn't just a voice, it's your mirror. Your words reflect your future. Speak light. Speak courage. Speak truth. Speak like someone already rebuilding their destiny. Step 7. Stack small wins daily. Rebuilding your life is not one big decision or a single moment of motivation. It's not one therapy session or a weekend of change. It's a quiet battle won through daily. Small, consistent victories. And those victories must be small. Not because you're weak, but because you're rebuilding from the ground with care. You need stability, not pressure. You need confidence, not chaos. You need small wins that rebuild your trust in yourself. A small win is something so simple, so achievable, that it almost feels too easy, but done daily, it transforms everything. Each time you win, your brain gets a message. I am capable. I am moving. I am in control again. That's how your identity rewires itself through proof, not through empty motivation. Small wins stack into unstoppable momentum. Examples: make your bed when you wake up. Drink water before touching your phone. Write one line before breakfast. Finish a 5-minute English lesson. Say one sentence out loud. Fold your clothes right after laundry. Walk outside for 7 minutes. These may look like nothing, but they are everything. Each win tells your brain, I keep my promises. I'm becoming reliable again. Most people wait for motivation. They think, once I feel better, I'll do better. But real change happens in the opposite way. Do better first, and you will feel better after. Win small, and strength will follow. Action builds emotion, not the reverse. Stack victories, and belief returns. This is how you reprogram your identity, not with pressure, but with daily proof of progress. Imagine an empty glass jar sitting on a table. Next to it is a large pile of tiny pebbles, small, simple, and light. Each pebble seems too small to make a difference, but every day you pick up one and drop it into the jar consistently. At first, it looks like nothing is changing. The jar seems empty, but if you keep going, one day it begins to fill. You look again after weeks, and it's half full. Then one morning, it's full to the top, not from one big pebble, but hundreds. That's exactly how small wins work. Each one feels insignificant. Making your bed, drinking water, studying for 5 minutes, but every act drops a pebble into your mental jar, building weight, substance, and visible progress for your inner confidence. Soon, you'll look back and realize, I'm not empty anymore. I'm full. I've grown. Small actions build unshakable self-trust daily. Create a win tracker. Every morning, write 3 tiny goals that are so easy you cannot fail even on your worst day. Examples: make my bed. Drink water. Watch 3 minutes of an English video. Write 1 sentence or stretch for 2 minutes. At night, check them off. That gives your brain proof. I said I would, and I did. That's how belief rebuilds in reality. Never break the chain. Make a calendar. Put an X every day you complete your 3 small wins. Soon, you'll see a streak. Your only job, don't break the chain. When you protect your chain protects your momentum, pushing you forward. Don't chase perfection. Chase consistency. If you miss 1 win, forgive yourself and continue immediately. Never restart from 0. This isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up, even on your worst day. You can still win something, no matter how small, even when you have no energy. Complete 1 small task. That 1 act can be the reason you don't give up entirely. Because when people feel broken, they feel powerless. They stop trusting themselves. And even small promises start to feel impossible. But when you collect small wins, you whisper to yourself, I trust me again. I finish what I start. I may be broken, but not done. Your new life isn't built in a day. It's built in tiny bricks stacked daily until your strength becomes unshakable and permanent. Step 8. Find purpose in pain. Let's be honest, life doesn't just hurt us. Sometimes it completely breaks us open. And when that happens, we ask, why did I lose them? Why now? Why does life feel so unfair and cruel? But hidden within those painful questions is a deeper truth. Pain is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of purpose. We're taught to run from pain, to numb it, to hide it. But the people who rise the highest all share one thing. They turn pain into power. Pain is a teacher, a mirror, a message that reveals what truly matters in your life. Pain, when understood, becomes purpose. It becomes the fuel that drives healing, creativity, and compassion toward others. Write down the pain that shaped you. Be specific. Don't just say, life was hard. Say exactly what hurt and what it taught you. I was rejected. I failed. I was embarrassed. I was ignored. I faced anxiety and pressure. Be honest with your deepest wounds. Then ask yourself, what did this pain teach me? What strength was born from it? What can I do now that I couldn't before? You'll be surprised. Your greatest pain often holds your greatest understanding and empathy toward others who are suffering too. The fastest way to find purpose in pain is to use it to help someone else. Turn your scars into a bridge for others. When you share your story, someone out there whispers, "Thank you. I thought I was the only one." That's when pain transforms. Pain shared becomes a message becomes a mission, and your mission becomes your reason to rise every morning again. Imagine a pot made of clay. One day it falls, cracks badly, and the owner doesn't throw it away but chooses something special. They repair it using an ancient Japanese method called kintsugi, meaning to repair with gold. The cracks become lines of beauty. The pot no longer hides its brokenness. It shines with golden seams, now stronger and more beautiful than ever before. That's what your pain can be when life cracks you. You have 2 choices: hide your cracks or fill them with purpose. Hide them, and you'll break again. Fill them with meaning, and you become something unbreakable, shining with wisdom and empathy. Let your pain become gold. Let your scars become stories. Let your story become light for someone else still in the dark. Pain doesn't have to make you weaker. It can make you real, powerful, human, and radiant with compassion. The cracks don't ruin the pot. They reveal where the gold flows. Your pain shows where your strength truly lives. What happened to you was unfair, painful, and real. But it doesn't have to be pointless. It can birth purpose and guidance. Your story can save someone's life. Your suffering can guide someone who is lost. Your breakdown can become another's breakthrough. Don't let pain close your heart. Don't let it make you bitter or small. Let it open your soul and awaken your fire. Some lessons are written in blood and tears, and those lessons carry the deepest power of all. They turn wounds into wisdom. From today, say this: I will not waste my pain. I will turn it into purpose. And that purpose will rebuild my life. That purpose will make me someone the world cannot ignore. That's the transformation hidden inside every scar you carry. Step 9. Build the discipline muscle. Here's a truth most people avoid. You will not always feel motivated or excited. You will not always feel strong or inspired. But if you truly want to rebuild yourself, you must master one eternal principle. Discipline is stronger than motivation. Discipline is the invisible force that keeps you moving even when your heart feels tired. It pushes you forward when your mind is heavy and your emotions are screaming. Not today. I can't do this anymore. Rebuilding is not a single decision. It's a series of choices repeated daily, even when no one claps or notices your effort. Discipline is doing the right thing, especially when it's the last thing you feel like doing. That's what strength truly means. You don't wake up with discipline. You train it like a muscle. You stretch it, test it, and strengthen it through repetition. In the beginning, it feels uncomfortable. You'll want to stop. Old habits will whisper, "You've done enough. Take a break." You'll hear the voice of laziness. One day off won't hurt. Why work hard if no one cares? But that's a dangerous lie. Discipline isn't punishment. It's loyalty to your future self, the version of you waiting patiently on the other side of consistency. You don't lose momentum by failing once. You lose it by staying down after failure. Discipline helps you stand up again. It makes you return to your plan after a lazy day. It keeps your promises to yourself when no one else will know. Imagine a metal water pump in the middle of a dry desert. You're thirsty, tired, and someone says, "Pump it long enough. If you do, clean water will come." So you start pumping. Once, 10 times, 50 times. But nothing happens yet. The ground is still dry. You start to doubt. You wonder, is something broken? Why should I keep going if I see nothing? What you don't realize is that underground, pressure is building. Each push pulls the water closer to the surface, unseen. Then suddenly, when you least expect it, water bursts out, clear, fresh, and strong. Once it flows, it gets easier to maintain. That's how discipline works. At first, it feels useless. You show up daily, but nothing seems to change. No visible results yet, but underneath, transformation is happening. Every small act builds pressure, preparing the breakthrough you can't yet see. If you stop too soon, if you quit before the water rises, you walk away right before success reaches the surface. Discipline is what keeps your hands moving, even when your heart doesn't feel it. Keep pushing, and the flow will begin. Once it starts, it becomes easier. Momentum builds, your strength compounds. The hardest part is trusting in visible progress. So from today, remind yourself, I'll keep pumping. I'll keep showing up because I know something beneath is rising. And one day, that hidden effort will overflow into visible results. Discipline is the pump, and your dreams are the water. Start small, ridiculously small, but stay consistent. Discipline isn't doing 100 things in a day. It's one thing daily. Write one sentence. Speak English for 5 minutes. Walk around your block. Meditate for 2 minutes. Do it every single day, no matter how you feel. Show up. That's how the muscle grows, not through motivation, but through repetition, without excuses. Remove decision-making from the process. Discipline dies when you have too many choices. Don't all ask, should I do this today? Decide once, then act as if no other option exists. That's commitment, not emotional, but practical and consistent. Discipline equals routine plus the commitment plus emotionless action. You don't wait to feel inspired. You follow your system regardless. Create consequences and rewards. Reward yourself for consistency, not with junk food, but with peace, reflection, or nature. When you skip, Don't punish, but reflect. Ask, why did I skip? What emotion led me here? Growth starts with honest awareness. You can't improve what you refuse to admit. Track your patterns. Adjust gently, and return stronger the next morning. Discipline is the bridge between your dream life and your current life. Without it, every other step becomes fragile and temporary. Discipline is freedom. It's the promise you make to your future self. Proof that you're serious about becoming someone greater. Tell yourself, motivation can visit me, but discipline will live with me. Motivation rises and falls. Discipline builds empires. Those who depend on motivation rise and fall. Those who train discipline rebuild themselves into giants who never collapse again. Step 10. Create distance from the old life. Let me ask you something powerful. Can a caterpillar become a butterfly and stay put? No. Transformation requires separation. You cannot rebuild while standing in the ruins of your past. You must move away. You can't become someone new while surrounded by everything that reminds you of the old version of you that once suffered. That means creating distance, emotional, physical, digital, and environmental, from people, habits, and spaces of your old life. We're creatures of comfort. Even our pain feels safe because it's familiar. But comfort zones kill transformation before it begins. Here's the truth. You can't rebuild inside the house that broke you. You must move. Not always physically, but mentally and spiritually. You must create new space for the new you to breathe. Different energy, different people, different daily choices and routines. Start with environmental distance. Clean your room. Rearrange your space. Donate clothes that carry pain. Delete songs of the past. Your environment affects your mind more than you think. A messy room whispers, "We're stuck." A clean room says, "We're rising." Next, digital distance. Unfollow accounts that make you feel behind. Mute voices that spread anger. Unsubscribe from negativity daily. Your social media should mirror your new identity, not your old one. Every scroll should remind you of who you're becoming. Then relational distance. This one hurts, but it's necessary. Some people don't want you to grow because it reminds them they haven't. You must learn to love people from a distance. You can care without letting them drain your energy or derail your peace. If someone makes you feel small or fake, protect your space. You don't need to hate them. You just need to guard your peace. Even silence is a decision. Sometimes no reply is the healthiest boundary you can create for your heart and your focus. Imagine standing at the base of a giant mountain before sunrise. Behind you is darkness. Ahead, the sun is slowly rising. But as long as you stand at the base, the mountain's shadow covers you. You're in darkness, even though light has arrived. That's what happens when you stay too close to your old life. Even if light exists, its warmth never reaches you fully. But when you climb higher, step by step, you start to feel warmth. You see clearly. The shadow no longer controls you. You've changed. You've grown. But staying in the same space keeps you cold. The climb is where new life begins. Don't hate the valley you came from. Don't fight the shadow. Just keep climbing toward light, step by step, without looking back. Distance is not abandonment. It's healing. It's creating room to breathe. Think and grow into the person you're meant to be. The old life will whisper, "Come back. It's easier here." But the new life waits quietly beyond comfort, ready for your courage. Say this to yourself: I will stop rebuilding in the ruins. I will create space, silence, and distance to protect my growth. You cannot become the new you if you keep standing in the same place where the old you died. Keep climbing toward light. Step 11. Protect the rebuilt you. You've done what most people only dream about. You stood back up after breaking completely. You faced your past, removed what was killing you, built new routines, created discipline, and rediscovered your strength and peace. You didn't just survive, You rebuilt yourself piece by piece. But now comes the most important step: protection of your progress. You must guard what you've rebuilt like a castle protecting its king, because the world will always try to break it again. Rebuilding is not a one-time event. It's a new way of life. And every new life is fragile in its early days, like a newborn tree growing from dry soil, like a wound beginning to heal, like a small flame burning quietly in the wind. If you don't protect it, the wind will blow it out, the past will return, and old habits will knock on your door. Toxic people will test your boundaries. Your own doubts will sneak back wearing new masks and friendly faces of comfort. That's why you must now become a guardian of your growth. Not just a student of change, but a protector of peace. 3 things you must protect from now on: your environment, your energy, and your identity. Let's talk about them clearly. First, protect your environment. Your mind grows where it is planted. Growth depends on where your roots find stability and light. If you rebuild yourself in a clean, focused, peaceful space, you grow faster and stronger with calm and balance. But if you let chaos return, your new self becomes confused and weak again. Guard your surroundings with attention and care. Be intentional about what you allow in your room, your phone, your playlists, your screen time, and the conversations you keep. Protect your physical environment like it's a sacred temple. If it doesn't give you energy, remove it completely and immediately. If it doesn't reflect who you're becoming, replace it with something that does. Your environment mirrors your identity daily. Keep it clean, calm, and built for growth. Your space should whisper peace the moment you walk into it every morning. Second, protect your energy. Some people no longer deserve access to you. Not because they're evil, but because they're outdated. They still live inside the past you've left behind. They pull you back into stories you've already rewritten with wisdom and pain. If you let every opinion, judgment, or angry message enter your heart, you'll quietly become the person you worked to leave. Not everyone needs to understand your journey. Not everyone will agree with your healing. Not everyone deserves your time. You have the right to protect your energy. You have the right to say no without guilt or explanation to anyone. You have the right to block, ignore, and walk away peacefully. You owe no one your presence if they bring only chaos. You are no longer available for disrespect, manipulation, or guilt. You're not a hospital for people who refuse to heal. You're not required to entertain conversations that drain your mind. Protect your emotional boundaries like invisible armor every day. Because every time you say no to chaos, you say yes to peace, progress, and your purpose. That's how healing stays alive. Third, protect your identity. This is the most important part, because the world will always test your transformation again. You'll face people saying, "You've changed." Say it proudly, "Yes, I have, and I'm never going back to the old version." Your old self will sometimes whisper, "Are you sure this is you?" Remind yourself, "Yes, this is who I fought to become." You are no longer the version that breaks under pressure or accepts disrespect just to feel loved or accepted by others. You are no longer the version who hides emotions or places everyone else's happiness above your own mental health and peace. Protect your new self from your old habits, fears, excuses, and limiting thoughts. This is your second life, earned through fire. Don't give it away casually. Don't let comfort destroy what pain taught you. Discipline gave you wings. Don't fold them again. There was a man named Elias who rebuilt his life after years of addiction and depression. He moved, worked, and found peace. He created a business, a morning routine, and a new identity. But one day, an old friend visited, bringing alcohol and memories. Elias thought, one night won't hurt. But one night became a week, and that week became a relapse that shattered his progress. Months later, when he started over again, he said something powerful. This time, I'm building walls around my peace. What I built with pain, I will not let comfort destroy. His story is a reminder. Protection is harder than rebuilding. Once you rise, you must stay alert, Guard your habits, your thoughts, and your boundaries with quiet confidence and consistency. Here are daily protection practices to keep your new self strong and safe from relapse into old pain or weakness. Morning reminder. Every morning, speak this sentence aloud. Today, I protect my peace. I honor the person I'm becoming. Today, I will not return to what broke me. I will keep moving toward the light that saved my soul. Say it slowly, daily. Next, create non-negotiables. Actions you do no matter what. For example, wake up without your phone. Move for 10 minutes. Smile. Write one positive sentence. Say no to one negative trigger. These small routines are not optional. They're your daily shield. Then audit your surroundings weekly. Every Sunday, ask yourself, what made me heavy this week? Who drained my energy? What strengthened me? What habit returned quietly? Then adjust your week. Reflection is your early warning system for relapse. Create a peace list. Write 5 things that give you peace: walking, music, prayer, silence, or reading. When the world feels heavy, do one of them immediately. This teaches your brain what safety and calm truly feel like. You are no longer the broken version of yourself. You're no longer surviving. You are rising and building something new. But remember, every version of you that came before, the one who cried alone, stayed silent, or doubted, is still inside. They are watching, whispering, "Don't let us down again." You are the one they were waiting for through every dark season. You didn't come this far to return to pain. You didn't rebuild your soul just to let someone else destroy your peace. You didn't fight through the storm to live in someone else's shadow. Protect your light. Guard your mind like sacred treasure. Protect your habits like they are gold. Protect your identity like it's the heartbeat of your second life. Because it is. If you've made it here, I want to tell you something from the heart. I'm proud of you for not giving up. Not because you watched a long video or followed all the steps perfectly, but because you're still here, still breathing, still choosing, even when life felt heavy. You stayed? That means you're serious about change, serious about becoming who you were meant to be. That means there's still fire inside you. You may not feel ready or strong, but your presence here already proves your courage. You don't need permission to rebuild. You don't need anyone's approval to begin again. You're allowed to start over at any time. You are not late. You're not broken. You're not behind. You're becoming. That's what this journey truly means. This was never just a motivational speech. It was a mirror showing you what's still possible, who you can still become. Because sometimes we forget. Sometimes we think it's too late. But it's never too late to rewrite your story with light. And if you ever forget again, come back to this message. Listen to these words. Watch this video again slowly and sincerely. Not because it's perfect, but because you are worth fighting for. You are worth rebuilding again and again until peace stays. You are proof that it's possible to fall and still rise, to lose everything and still stand, to cry and still choose love. If this video touched you, if it made you feel seen, strong, or understood, I ask you to do 2 small things. First, subscribe to this channel, not for views, but for your growth. We create videos for transformation, not entertainment. Every new video will be another step in your rebuilding journey, another tool to help you stay strong and confident. Second, share this message with one person, someone who's silently breaking, someone who smiles in public but cries alone at night. Let this video be the voice that saves them, the reminder that no matter how broken they feel, they can rise again, because we rise together. Healing isn't a competition. It's a community of people who refuse to stay down any longer. Thank you for being here. You are not alone. You are not done. Your best days are not behind you. They begin today. Let's rebuild together. One step, one breath, one choice at a time. That's how we change our lives from within. Let's quickly reflect on what you've learned through these 11 steps so you never lose sight of your direction again. Step 1. Clean the rubble. Remove what's toxic, messy, or broken. Make space for new peace and strength to enter your life. Step 2. Forgive the old you. Release guilt. Stop punishing yourself. And let your past become your greatest teacher of wisdom. Step 3. Create a new identity. Define yourself by choice, not by pain. Become who you decide to be each new morning. Step 4. Build a survival routine. Stay consistent with small, grounding actions that keep your mind, body, and soul stable. Step 5. Move your body. Move your mind. Use physical motion to free yourself from emotional paralysis and awaken your spirit. Step 6. Train your mouth to speak powerfully. Use words that create courage and confidence, not doubt or self-sabotage. Step 7. Stack small wins daily. Focus on progress, not perfection. Each tiny victory rebuilds your self-trust like a muscle. Step 8. Find purpose in pain. Turn your scars into strength. Let your experiences help others who walk similar dark paths. Step 9. Build the discipline muscle. Keep showing up even without motivation. Discipline is your bridge from dream to reality. Step 10. Create distance from the old life. Walk away from the ruins of your past so you can finally stand in the sunlight. And step 11. Protect the rebuilt you. Guard your peace, your energy, and your identity. They are your most sacred treasures. These steps are not just lessons. They are tools, habits, and truths you can return to whenever life feels unstable again. Because rebuilding doesn't happen once. It's a daily process of falling, rising, cleaning, forgiving, and learning to begin again. And the good news is, every time you rise, it becomes easier. Your resilience grows stronger. Your light shines brighter each day. You begin to understand that storms aren't sent to destroy you. They're sent to clean the path for your next version. Pain becomes wisdom. Confusion becomes clarity. Weakness becomes strength. Every fall becomes a rehearsal for your next rise. And through it all, your English improves too. Your ability to express feelings, to understand emotion, to connect through words. Because rebuilding yourself and learning a language are both acts of faith. Small steps repeated until something powerful awakens. Every story, every word, every sentence you learn is part of your growth. They teach you not only how to speak, but how to live. When you say, I am learning, it's not just English you're learning, it's the art of becoming. The courage to keep trying, so when you practice. Speak with love. When you make mistakes, forgive yourself quickly. When you succeed, celebrate gently, because your growth, both in life and in language, deserves kindness, not judgment. That's how real confidence is born within you, if no one has told you this before. Let me tell you now, you are doing better than you think you are. You're not behind, you're not weak, you're in progress. And that's where all strong stories begin. In progress. Not perfection. Keep speaking life into your future. Keep believing even when your mind doubts. Keep walking even when the path feels unclear. Because one day, without warning, you'll look around and realize you're no longer surviving. You're living with purpose again. And when that day comes, remember this. Rebuilding yourself was never about becoming someone new. It was about returning home. Returning to the person you were always meant to be before the world tried to break your spirit or silence your voice. So keep that light alive, protect it fiercely. Speak softly to yourself and loudly to your dreams. Because they're waiting for you. You are the proof that broken things can become beautiful again. That's the truth you carry into the world from this moment forward. Thank you for walking this journey with me. Thank you for rebuilding your life and your language together. Step by sacred step. And remember this, you don't rise once. You rise again and again. That's how hope becomes habit and change becomes identity. Your story doesn't end here. It starts again now. So take a deep breath, stand tall, and step into the light. Because from this day forward, you're not just rebuilding, you are becoming unstoppable. You've just learned how to rebuild your life, one step at a time, through cleaning, forgiving, moving, speaking, and believing again. Every small step you take rewrites your story, turning your pain into wisdom, your fear into strength, and your silence into light. Don't rush your healing. Every breath, every word, every act of courage builds the foundation for the person you're becoming now. You are not broken. You are rebuilding beautifully. Keep going. Keep growing. And never forget how far you've already come. If this message touched you, subscribe, share it with someone who needs hope today, and let's rebuild together, stronger than before.